Hello everybody, welcome back to another Kerbal Space Program video, and welcome back to the Space Plane Hangar, where we have ourselves a 747 that we are kind of retrofitting for today's video. This 747 we built and flew initially in yesterday's video. We'll put a card up there if you want to watch it. So today what we're going to be doing is I figured we have a 747 in our virtual hangar, if that's what you want to say, we could do some fun crap with it, so I decided to send it out to Laythe today and get like a passenger jet on Laythe. That'd be a pretty cool thing, and we're just retrofitting some ISRUs and drills on it to make the thing able to refuel itself on the surface of Laythe. So I just removed that backmost Mark III passenger module, and I'm replacing it with a little cargo bay with a drill and ISRU in it. We'll also probably need a radiator to dissipate the heat, which I'm going to put just behind the upper deck, and I'm also going to get some of the RTGs to mount there so the thing can actually have some energy so the drills can actually work. So that is going to be most of the stuff done with the 747, just auto-shredding some of the stuff I forgot to in the previous video, because I don't think the engines were auto-shredded and they were really kind of floppy, which was kind of annoying, but hey, that is no longer a problem now. And once we're done with that, we are going to construct ourselves a very big rocket that will send the plane on a course to Laythe. The rocket's not going to be assisting in the landing. All it's going to do is get us on a collision course with Laythe's atmosphere, and then the 747 will do all the aero braking, and then it'll fire up its jet engines, and it can fly around and land on one of the surface areas on Laythe, or one of the islands. The reason we're going to Laythe is because it is the only planet aside from Kerbin or I guess Laythe is technically a moon, but it's the only celestial body, I should say, aside from Kerbin that jet engines actually work on, because you can't go to Duna or Eve because they don't actually have any oxygen in the atmosphere. So granted, they do have atmospheres, but no oxygen, so the jet engines wouldn't work, so it'd be a pretty useless plane, wouldn't it? So now I'm constructing the interplanetary stage, which is just going to be some nuclears, which will be able to take us from LKO all the way out to Jewel and then Laythe for our final destination. So while I'm just finishing up that nuclear stage, I would like to, I have a dumb question. So I've started doing polls in my community tab. I think it's our last poll, we got like 350 responses so far. I asked what people's favorite YouTuber was, or KSP YouTuber. First of all, Matt Lown crushed it, like GG Matt. I was thinking, what other type of polls should I do? So now I'm doing a poll about polls. What kind of poll? And I only can do 5 answers. So I originally was going to say, hey, what kind of stuff do you guys like to do in KSP? I was going to ask that. But there was so much crap to do in KSP. I was like, SSTOs, space stations, career mode, and you always want an other option. So, like SSTO, career mode, space stations, that's already 4 if you add the other option. Then I only do one other option. There's like 30 other things people do in KSP, like they build bases, they build rovers, they build like rockets and try and go to like faraway places, or do like challenges where you like try and build a rocket, do a grand tour, or you do like challenges like SRB only. There's all sorts of crap that people do. So yeah, that wouldn't really work out. As I posted the poll on Reddit that I did, just showed everyone the results, and I got a few comments saying, "Oh my gosh, you didn't include XYZ YouTuber, how lame of you, poll invalid, lame poll." So I'm including. That's why I'm not doing like polls with a lot of answers, because I can only do 5 answer thingies on YouTube, and then people will complain. And I mean, it sounds hard, because for the KSP YouTubers poll, I didn't have enough room to include like people like Bradley Wistons or Danny2462, who are all, or like the Beardy Penguin. They're all great people. But unfortunately, I didn't have enough. And speaking of YouTubers, 1,000, I think I'm at 1,200 subs. So thank you everyone for subscribing. You guys are pretty epic. If you want to, subscribe and hit the red subscribe button, it's available. I mean, obviously, do what you want. I want to keep the plugging to a minimum. I have a goal to hit 2,000 subs by the end of the year, so we'll see. I think right now we're at about a 20% probability of doing it. Like, we need to get, I believe it's around 30 or 26, 27 subs a day. So I've not hit that for the last few days, so let's hope that happens. I don't know, fingers crossed. But that's the end of the build, and we can go ahead and get ourselves launched. We have the 747 kind of angled kind of in a weird way. Which I do have to reset my my control point, because my current control point is the cockpit, and that is offset from our center of mass. So it'd be kind of weird to fly it like that. So we have the 747 angled with the, I don't know how you, perpendicular to the airstream. So the reason we're doing that is because if we have it parallel with the airstream, so like we pitch forward and the wings kind of work, it's unstable because the wings kind of cause us to flip over. So yeah, that's why we're doing it that way. We have a very big rocket. It's two-staged orbit plus those two radially mounted SRBs, which just help us get up through the lower atmosphere. We're doing a very steep ascent today because our upper stage, which is Wolfhound engines, has a very, very low thrust to weight ratio, and we also need to get out of the thick parts of the atmosphere so we can actually regain our stability, because this thing is pretty unstable through the lower, probably 10 kilometers of the atmosphere. So there goes our bottom stage, and now we are going to do the very long coast up to orbit, or not coast, but burn. So yeah, this is why. I had this is why I had to do that steep ascent, because we have like a TWR of like, I think 0.5 with these Wolfhounds. I mean, hey, it's efficient at least. I guess that's the good thing. But our Kerbals are just gonna sit there as we. I mean, it's honestly a little more realistic, because upper stages in real life have really low TWRs, especially the Centaur. Centaur has like no TWR, so that's pretty cool. Centaurs, if you don't know, it's what the upper stage on the Atlas. Atlas 5 currently, but there have been other versions that have. It's mainly just launched on Atlas. Yeah, don't know why I'm talking about that because we are still quite a ways from orbit. Still only going 1,500 meters a second. You need to get to about 2,300 meters a second to get up to orbital velocity. Oh, I forgot to, while we're waiting, I forgot to do another plug. Discord. Hey, actually, I'm gonna be funny if I already did. I can't even remember what I've talked about. I remember it's only 6-7 minutes into the video, and I can't remember what I've been talking about. Either way, yeah, if you want to join the Discord, we're getting close to 300 people in the Discord, so that's pretty epic. Discord's almost doubled in size in the last like 2.5 weeks, so that's pretty nuts. Thanks to everyone on the Discord. You guys are actually pretty great. We have some great people there. So if you want to join, we've been doing Community Space Station. There's pretty much submissions are pretty much ended. So if you haven't joined, it's kind of too late to. But we do weekly challenges, so hey, you can do those if you're interested. But yeah, for everyone on the Discord who submitted a module for the Community Space Station, thank you very much. We got like we're close to 50, so. I don't know. That may be a very difficult. I'm planning just trying to dedicate like an entire day to just launching modules. We'll see how that goes, because I'm going to launch them all and make a video out of it. I don't know if I get it all done in a day, but I want to get in really soon. But Starship, if you're watching this in the future, doesn't really apply to you. But the Starship SN8 hop is coming up soon, obviously, and I plan on live streaming that. So I also plan on doing some videos for Starship. So if I don't get it out in the nearest future, that will be why. Either way, I'm just looking at some internal views because, hey, wing views are cool, right? We're on a 747. I put some Kerbals in the back modules. So look at that. I actually like how that wing view looks. That's why we build planes in KSP, to look at wing views. But either way, we are now doing our 13-minute ejection burn out to Joule, and that even has like 400 meters a second of help from that Wolfhound stage. So yeah, not a lot of thrust to weight ratio on the nuclears as we do a very, very painfully slow burn. I have it sped up to 6 times speed right now, so hopefully this isn't too painful for you guys as we get ourselves out to Joule with about half our burn done now. And it is going to look like we're going to have just about 1,500 meters a second of delta V to get ourselves captured and, well, not captured, but get ourselves on a trajectory towards Laythe, and not at 8,000 or 4,000 meters a second. So yeah, so we're gonna do some fancy dancy gravity assist stuff, and this thing actually was a big pain. I spent like an hour basically working on maneuver nodes, and I don't really think you guys would like to see all that. So basically, I'm just gonna show the first few minutes of me working on this maneuver node, and then I'm just gonna cross it over to our arrival at Laythe, because I've done these Tylo gravity assist type Laythe entry capture thingy bobbers in other videos. I actually had really lucky. My gravity assist in one video. I'll put another card up. It was when I just tried to see how far I could get a stock Saturn V to go, and by stock I mean like unmodified. Like, Matt Lowndes taking a Saturn V to Tylo and back, but he had a modified like nuclear stage and lander on it. I just had the default Apollo stuff. and I got it out to Val and back, which is pretty cool. Yeah, that was a really fun mission to do. So that video didn't really get a lot of views, but well, that's probably because I was a lot smaller. I had like, I believe, like barely 100, 200 subscribers back then. So hey, how times have changed. But yeah, we're gonna just do our crossfade over now, and you can see we're coming in at a slightly reasonable-ish, about 2,200 meters per second. We are now going to detach our back module thingy, or our nuclear stage, and then we can get ourselves ready to do our re-entry, or not re-entry, just entry into Laythe, the very bluey planet, which actually has a little bit of a glitch going on. You'll see when you get a little bit lower, but if I angle the camera in certain directions, like the water disappears. That gets solved after I reload, do a quick save and then reload said quick save. But it does look kind of weird when we come through the upper atmosphere. This thing is obviously not aerodynamically stable through the upper parts of the atmosphere. Well, actually it is to some extent, but I do just kind of spin it out here. That's just because the atmosphere is too thin to really have to control things very well. Laythe's atmosphere, by the way, is just epic. It's the best atmosphere in my opinion. Like anything that flies on Kerbin will fly better on Laythe. That's just how it works. It's kind of nuts. And Laythe has it is a nice combination of like a thinnish atmosphere in the top that doesn't have a lot of heat, and a really thick atmosphere at the bottom. So it's easy to do SSTOs out of Laythe. So like taking off and getting into Laythe orbit in one stage, because the upper atmosphere is pretty thin, but it's also thick enough to do really good aero brakes, and it's just epic. But we are now gonna fire up our engines and fly over to, well, first we'll look at wing views, obviously the most important part. Fly over to the island. You can see that visual glitch right there. So what I end up doing here for I'm going to be crossfade here for a second. It's going to be a little awkward, just for two reasons. A, to fix that visual glitch, and B, because this is not my first attempt. I'll put a blooper reel at the end. A lot of 2 videos in a row doing a blooper reel. I guess I guess I'm a very bad pilot. I can't even spell pilot, can I? I mean, if you want to know why my name is spelled wrong, FAQ section on the Discord, right? I don't think anyone cares. Maybe they do. I don't know. Or you can just ask me. If you care, which, who knows. But we talk about our landing. So we have our landing gear out. We have the engine idled, or 4 engines idled, as we are just trying to find a nice flat spot to bring our plane down. Just getting a little bit of thrust just to try and get ourselves not crash on the ground. Doing a little bit of a flare. Just pitching a few degrees up, and touchdown. Welcome to Laythe, everybody. So getting the reversers out and getting the brakes on to get the thing pulled to a stop. We couldn't stop the plane. And still slowing the plane down. Is it ever going to stop? This thing does take a hot second to stop. And there it goes. Welcome to Laythe. Thank you for flying Pilot Airways, everybody, where we are going to get ourselves... We'll get the engines off first of all, obviously, and then we're going to, after the engines are turned off, going to open up that back cargo bay and get ourselves maybe refueled. Word of advice to everybody. If you want to do ISRU and refueling and drills, remember to put ore tanks on, because if you don't, it won't work. And mine didn't work. Yeah, so we're just kind of stuck here. We have the fuel that we have, but after that, we have no fuel. So, let's go to the blooper reel. Alright, well, that's going to be the end of the video, so we'll put some cards up, and I'd like to thank you for watching. So next time, please rate or comment to this video. Once again, thank you for watching, we'll see you next time, and bye!